Hey, welcome guys. Mr. Cox back with lesson 1.2 from Prime Time. This is called Playing to Win Prime and Composite with Prime and Composite Numbers. So this is referring back to the factor game that we played yesterday, and now this is really breaking that game down and understanding how to win at that game. So when you play your parents, you can beat up on them a little bit, and they won't know why they're losing. So our focus question, right, for today is what information about a number can you find by looking at its factors. So really looking at factors. First thing we talked about today in class was composite numbers and prime numbers. Composite numbers, right, we came up with a definition of having more than 3 or more factors. That's how we know it's a composite number. For prime numbers, we talked about prime numbers have exactly 2 factors, 1 and themselves, right? So if I come down here, just move this over a little bit. So there's my chicken scratch, so you can read it. Have 3 or more factors. Has exactly 2 factors, 1 in itself. So examples of prime numbers would be 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and 13. The next question, is it better to go first or second in the game? We answered this yesterday, but here we go. Do you want to go first or second? First, because you can choose a prime number, and of course you could choose 29, which leads us to the next question. 29 is the best first move because you get 29 points, and your partner or your parent will get 1. When will you lose a turn without getting any points, and why? If you chose a number that had no other factors left, you would lose your turn, and because there's no chance for points, right? All right. So then the next thing it asks you to do is go through and make a table of all these the possible moves. So like for 1, you would lose your turn, and your score would be 0. The opponent's score would be 0 as well. So that's the only one where you lose your turn. After that, 2, right? 2 is a special number. 2 is prime, so it would just be 1 and 2. My score would be 2. My partner's score would be 1. And you keep going. So we filled this out in class. If you want to pause the video if you're not done, you can do that. But I'm going to reveal all the answers so that you can look. I'm hoping my math is right because my brain is kind of foggy. I was up late last night. But you can pause this, check your answers, and hopefully it makes sense. The next set of questions have to do with this sheet. So as you're going on, you're going to need to refer back to the sheet. It may be good if mine's right. And I'm not saying it's right because, like I said, I'm a little bit foggy and we're just getting back in. So if mine's right, it might be a good idea to pause the video and then answer questions looking at the video while you have your book out in front of you. So I have a blank one, so I'm going to use that. So what is the best first move? Well, we already know that. The best first move is going to be down here. It's going to be 29, right? Because you get 29 points and your partner gets 1. That's pretty self-explanatory. Your partner gets 1 point, you get 29. What first move would make you lose a turn? Well, that first move would be if you chose 1. There are no other factors for 1. Okay. Now it says list all the first moves that allow your opponent to score exactly 1 point. These numbers are called prime numbers. Are all prime numbers good first moves? So you look here for all the 1s. If you see this 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, these are all prime numbers. So you should list out like 2, 3. Actually, I know these 2, 3, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, and 29. So those are all the prime numbers that you should have listed out. Okay. You think prime numbers would be a blank, a good first move or a bad first move because why? List all the first moves that allow your opponent to score more than 1 point. Okay, so that's all the stuff for the opponents score more than 1 point. So if you look here, this is 1 point. Don't write number 3 down. You would want to write 4 because they get 3 points, not 5 but 6, 8, 9, right, so forth and so on. So you can start adding all these different, whichever ones give you more than just 1 point, should be written down there. Those are called composite numbers. So find a number that has exactly 2 factors. So again, you refer back here. How about number 2? 2 has 2 factors. 3 has 2 factors. 5 has 2 factors. Many choices. How about 3 factors? So numbers with 3 factors. That would be like 4, 1, 2, and 4. Go through 10 has 2 factors. So you just write those numbers in here. 4 factors and 6 factors. What is special about these numbers? And you're looking for a trait like they're all even, they're above 10, they're less than 10. You're looking for, I don't want to say character traits, but you're looking for number traits. Alright, so coming down here, Camilla noticed that some numbers her opponent's score was equal to the number. For example, when her first move was 6, her opponent also got 6. So on the first column, they're asking you for which moves are they both the same. So so you can see 1 would be one of them, and 6 would be another. And so analyze these. Are there any other moves where they're the same numbers? So my score and the opponent's score have to be the same. So comparing the columns. For her first move of 24, Anna listed the proper factors as 1, 2, 4, 6. Is she correct? Do you think that those are all the factors? Do you think that 1, 2, 4, and 6 are all the factors of 24? I believe Anna was right. I believe Anna was wrong. Whatever your choice is right there. I believe this because blah, 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 blah. She forgot, or she has them all. They're all listed there. How can you be sure that you have listed all the proper factors? This goes back to talking about as the numbers go. If we're talking about, say, 28, I have 1 and 28. And then I'm going to go 2. Does 2 go into 28? Yeah, it goes in 14 times. Those numbers get closer. And I'm going to go a little further. I'm going to say 4 and 7. Closer. Now I'm looking at the numbers in between 4 and 7. It's just 5 and 6. I know nothing goes into 28. 5 and 6 don't go into 28. So that's how I know that. So how can you be sure that you list all the proper factors of a number? 1, you tested the theory. We talked about that earlier today. 2, you listed all the factors out and you checked as the numbers got closer together. 3, another way you could do it is when they reverse. So it could be 1 and 28, 2 and 14, 4 and 7, and then they reverse 7 and 4 and they go the other direction. So once you start seeing that, that's how we know all the numbers have been there. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope you guys have a good afternoon. I'll post this right now. I don't know why I'm telling you that, but I'll see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Have a great afternoon.